Welcome to Psalmic Saturday here at Ariel's Corner. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live. Moderating today are the lovely Jason, the lovely Honeypaw, and the lovely Dre. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. I had originally planned on doing a different psalm today, but it's too long, so we switched it, and today we are going to be doing Psalm 39. So if you're following along, just make note of that. We are going to be on Psalm 39 today. Let's see. If you haven't done so already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Our website is located at arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com. You can also find a podcast hub for us, and that's at arielspodcasts.com, arielspodcasts.com. Plus, our shop can be found at arielscornershop.com. While you're on the main website, arielscorner.com, check in the headers of each page, and you'll notice that we have links to our social media, including our private Facebook group and our Discord server. And those are two places you can go to become a little bit more involved. Also get any questions answered, or if you have any support that you need, that's where to go. Let's see, what am I doing here? Somebody keeps calling me. I wish they would stop. Turn off. Let me just make sure that I've got the do not disturb on here. Okay, that's better. We are working Psalm Magic today. Don't call me. Just a moment. Here we go. All right, so let's get going on this. We do have a premiere starting at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is just 40 minutes from now. I hope that you can join us there. Oh, let me make sure that I joined this stream to that. Let me do that real quick. Sorry about this. I'm a little bit out of it today. Let me do that real fast. We've got today's live stream happening right now, and we're going to connect it to the premiere today. There we go. So you can just hang out to the end of the exit music, and it should bring you right to that watch page. All right, let's get going here. Today we are working Psalm 39. Some traditional magical uses for Psalm 39 are for courage to confront any problem head on, to dispel fear, for peace of mind, to reveal false testimony and lies, and also to turn around any kind of a court case in your favor. Today, I would like to use Psalm 39 for courage. The way we work Psalm Magic is simple, easy, and effective. We take the psalm in question, and we read it out loud all the way through once without stopping. This is called an incantation very frequently. After we've finished with that, we go back through the psalm, and we search for hidden or occult meanings that lie behind each verse. Whatever we find there, we try to apply to the problem or the situation that we've brought to the psalm, whatever the subject of the spell happens to be. And by doing that, by contemplating, searching, digging for those meanings, and then applying those meanings to the best of our ability to the situation at hand, what we are doing is very profound work. We are dislodging magical seeds that are inherent in each of those verses. And those seeds are thus planted in the depths of our mind, where they take root. They grow, they blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is precisely what you and I are going to do right now with Psalm 39. Let's do it this way. That's probably better. I'm just going to do that over so that I don't have a lot of editing to do. Okay, I've got this. Oh, God. I'm not doing a very good job of any of this today. Sorry. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle, while the wicked is before me. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. My heart was hot within me. While I was musing, the fire burned. Then I spake with my tongue. Lord, make me to know mine end, and the measure of my days. Lord, make me know mine end, and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Selah. Surely every man walketh in vain. Surely every man walketh in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth upon riches, and knoweth not who shall gather them. And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. I was dumb, I opened not my mouth, because thou didst it. Remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thine hand. When thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Selah. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner as all my fathers were. O spare me, that I may recover strength, before I go hence and be no more. Just a moment, please. Okay, what did I just do? Oh, here we go. Just lost my place. Isn't this a fun day? So it starts out kind of unusually for the Psalms. It doesn't start out with an invocation or anything like that. It starts out with a sort of like a pondering about oneself. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle, while the wicked is before me. So whatever you've brought to the psalm, today we're doing the example of wanting courage, being afraid of something and wanting courage. But whatever you've brought to the psalm, it's talking about how we have to watch our words. We have to not just allow ourselves to speak into existence that which we do not want. We have to allow ourselves to control our tongue. It's almost impossible to control all of our thoughts, but we can control our words. And it says, I will keep my mouth with a bridle while the wicked is before me. So for this example, whatever it is that I'm afraid of, I'm not going to make it real with my words. I'm going to keep silent. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. Now, when we are keeping our mouths shut about what we don't want, we want to allow ourselves to speak forth what it is that we do want. We don't want to just keep silence about everything. We want to make sure that we use our words for a divine purpose. And so it's important to understand that we don't just stop talking, we don't just stop thinking, we don't just stop having desires and having our will, but we have to discern. This is an acknowledgement of the power of discernment. So what is it that I want to speak into existence, and what is it that I want to keep silent on? Remember that secrecy also brings power to whatever it is that we desire. So when we keep secret about something that we do not want, we are giving that power. But when we are secret about something that we do want, we give that power. So it's an important understanding that there is a need to speak forth your invocation, to speak forth your spell, to speak forth using your words in a productive way. And when that seed is planted, to shut your mouth and keep silent. My heart was hot within me. While I was musing, the fire burned. Then I spake with my tongue. When you are able to understand the power of silence, it's like a pressure cooker. And if you're cooking something you want, that's fabulous, because it gets up to a place wherein it has no choice but to spring forth. And in this particular verse, it's talking about how it bubbles up into words. But it's really giving us this understanding that keeping silent about something after we've spoken it into existence, keeping silent about it brings it a lot of power. It has a pressure cooker type of an effect. Now, we don't want that pressure cooker type of effect about things that we don't want. And that's why it's important that if we have fears, or if we have upset, or if we have guilt or anything like that, that we find a place that we can speak about it, that we're safe to speak about it. We can call a friend, a therapist, or even aloud to the Creator itself to take the charge off of whatever it is, so that the only thing that we're putting in that pressure cooker are the things that we do want. Lord, make me to know mine end and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. It's looking at the temporal nature of the mortal world, of the physical world. The world that we exist in the physical is temporal in that it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Everything does. Our physical lives do, our relationships do, our possessions do. There's nothing in the mortal world that is eternal. And when it's saying, Lord, make me to know mine end and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am, it's not so that we can get depressed about the fact that we're all going to die someday. It's so that we understand the illusory nature of this world, and that this is not the world that we actually inhabit, that there's a world beyond this world where our soul exists in eternity, and that we understand that everything that we do in this world is vain, because this world is temporal, and so therefore it can't be real. The only real world would be the world of the eternal. And so this is the world of the ego's domain, this world of the temporal, because the ego only exists in time. But as we learn to exist in this world in the present moment, we transform our experience of this world out of the temporal and into the eternal. And the ego mind can't exist in the present moment. The ego mind can only exist in the past and the future, which gives us an indicator of the fact that it's not real, because it can't exist here and now. Behold, thou hast made my Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. This is again talking about the ego mind. Now, it's accusing the infinite of making our days short. And handbreadth is what, about 5 inches? So it's not a very long life here when you consider the difference between the life of an average human, the average human lifespan versus the eternality of even if you look at the the age of the solar system. It's obviously in the mortal world as well, because it has a beginning and a middle and an end. But if you compare the lifespan of the solar system to the lifespan of an average human being, it's as if the average human being's lifespan is but a blip, a nothing. And that's where the ego mind exists, in nothingness, in this insignificant little nothingness. And that's why it must puff itself up to feel as though it's bigger than it is, because it is nothing. But our soul is eternal. Our soul is longer lasting than the solar system, because it has no beginning, middle, or end. And that's why it says, verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity, meaning the best ego, the most humble ego in this world is still vain, because it doesn't last. It can't last. Surely every man walketh in vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth up riches, and knoweth not who shall gather them. The idea that you can feel better about your vain life, your short life, by becoming rich, or by anything, by having any kind of power in the world. What that does is it allows you to be even farther disconnected from your eternal nature. The whole idea of being courageous in any situation is understanding that the soul can't be touched by anything in this world. Everything in this world is going to end, including the thing you're afraid of. This too shall pass. Everything's going to end. And that makes somebody who's sad happy, and somebody who's happy sad. Because if we put all of our if we put all of our faith into things of this world, it's like building a house on sand rather than rock, because it will end. It will go away. But you won't go away. But you're not a child of this world. You're not a creature of this world. And now, Lord, what wait I for? My hope is in thee. Now, finally, we are understanding that the hope, meaning faith, is in the eternal, not in the temporal. Our understanding now in this psalm is that we are eternal. Therefore, there is nothing for us to fear. Nothing can touch us here. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. In other words, please cleanse my mind of every addictive nature that I have, everything that is attaching me to this world, all of my attachments to this world. And the funny thing about that is, when we ask ourselves to be purified of our attachments to this world, we don't stop participating in the world. We participate in it more fully, because we're no longer afraid of it ending. So it's much easier to be successful when you're not attached to your success, because you're not afraid of your success ending. It's much easier for you to have wealth when you're not attached to your wealth, because you're not afraid of your wealth ending. So when we are asking to be purified of our attachments to the mortal world, that enables us to enjoy our experience here, to have more success here, because we know that it's nothing more than a movie. And we can make that movie be anything we want it to be, based on how we use our minds. I was dumb, I opened not my mouth, because thou didst it. So when instead of, and when we're talking about words here, we're not only talking about physical words, although those are very powerful, but we're also talking about will and intention. So instead of running off at the mouth about whatever, we're going to close our mouth and let the infinite work through it. Let the infinite's words come through the mouth. In other words, when we say thy will be done, a lot of people think that that is subjugation, that we are forfeiting our personal will and allowing some alien will to come in and take over. And that's incorrect. When we say thy will be done, we are asking that our true will be done, that we understand what we are here for, why we came into this world, what our function is, and how we can fulfill that function. And so when our true will is done, everything good happens for us, and everything good happens for those around us. And when your true will is done, you have nothing to fear. You are divinely protected. The only time we get into trouble is when we allow that little small will, which is what we mostly do, to be in charge. And then we are building castles on sand. Instead, we are building our house on sand. Instead, we want to build our house on rock. And the way we do that is allow our true will, our true nature, our soul's will to come through us. Because remember that you and the infinite are one. The image of you being like a beam of light from a central star is a good one, because you understand that yes, you're unique. Yes, you have your own will, but your own will is also the will of the infinite. They're both one and the same. And the infinite's will for you is unique to you. And therefore, what you desire, what your true desires in this world are holy. And those are different than the lusts of the ego. Remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thine hand. Now, please hit me, infinite. sort of a violent image, but in a good way. We do want to get a little smack by the infinite. And the smack by the infinite is not to us, it's to our ego. It's like, wake up, snap out of it. Snap out of this dream, snap out of this fear. You are protected. You are safe. Nothing can touch you. You know this. Wake up. When thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. So this is another desire to allow my false self to be dissolved in favor of my true will. All of the things that I think are important that have nothing to do with my true will, I want those things to be dissolved. And when those things are dissolved, a lot of the puffery of the ego is exposed for what it is. And it's talking about thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. That's false vanity, false beauty, the things that we have to puff up ourselves about. And a lot of the things that we're puffed up about are not, and the things that it's calling beauty are not so beautiful. Most of them aren't. A lot of us are puffed up about how poor we are. We're puffed up about how nothing works for us. We're puffed up about how nobody loves us. We're puffed up about how we have so many problems. We have so much to be afraid of. Those are vain things. It's a type of vanity. And we're asking for those to be dissolved in favor of our true will. And you can see how when those vain things are dissolved, our fears are dissolved too, because there's nothing that can come up against us. We are unassailable. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner as all my fathers were. It feels as though you are a stranger to the infinite, just like everybody who came before you, because we have so intensely doubled down on the lie about who we are. Think about all the things that you think about yourself, that you just take for granted. All of the lies that you have just swallowed whole, you have never bothered to even question about yourself. I'm weak. I'm sick. I came from the wrong side of the tracks, maybe. I don't have what it takes. I'm not good enough. No matter what I do, I can't seem to make things work. I'm always at the effect of other people. I'm always being beaten down by people. So those are lies, and those things are a stranger to the infinite because the infinite doesn't understand those things, doesn't know those things. Those things are foreign to who you are as a soul. The infinite does know you intimately, but the infinite knows who you really are, not the fake you that you have allowed yourself to, not only that you've allowed yourself to concoct over these years. And it's not something to feel guilty about. It's not your fault. It's just what we do here. It's part of this mass hallucination. It's our big sleeping pill that we all took. In the book of Genesis, infinite intelligence wasn't there. It was the ego that was masquerading as Yahweh when that Yahweh character, the Yahweh Elohim character, gave Adam a sleeping pill, put Adam to sleep under anesthesia, and created a separation, took Eve away from him, out of him. So that's a symbol of us allowing ourselves to believe the lies of the ego. So hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner as all my fathers were. I understand that all of this is not who you made, but I want to be as you created me. O spare me, that I may recover strength before I go hence and be no more. So, to recover strength before I go hence and be no more, meaning I want to become one with my soul, who is the truth of who I am, and then allow the ego, which is not who I am, to be dissolved. And I want you to do that for me. I want you to untrain me in the ways of my ego. And instead, I want to recover my strength. In other words, recover my soul. Know who I truly am. Because if I know who I truly am, I'm not afraid of anything. I don't need courage. Courage is something that's not even a thing, because there's no fear. Because as a soul, nothing can touch me. Everything about me is perfect, and I am a beam of light from a central star. I am a perfect soul, and all of the ego dreams are as nothing. They are the phantasm that is just gone, like mist in the morning. So you just keep coming back to the same psalm every day until you get a sense that whatever you brought to the psalm has been addressed, and you get a sense of peace and certainty that all is working out. And when you get that sense of peace and certainty, that's an indication to you from your deep mind that the spell has taken and you don't have to work on it anymore. In fact, it's better if you just leave it alone, forget about it, and move on to something else. Thank you very much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be. Let's see if I have any questions here. We do not. Okay. So I hope that you can join us for our Spell to Overcome Bullies. We are working on Psalm 35 on our premiere. And we'll see you over there. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Jason, Honeypot, and Dre. And we'll see you all on the premiere. Until next time, blessed be.